was listening almost the whole event, and it was very stimulating. And it's very fruitful. Really, we can draw some guidelines from this discussion. I would like to make some observation based on the discussion. I'll try to be short. But one thing I think Ted said that first of all, when we talk about an independent state, we should have a clear idea what kind of a state we are going to have. We have thought about it. Not only we have thought about it, even Mr. Chairman had thought about it in 1976. Let me say what the TGTE has done. We had a Freedom Charter. We promulgated in the Freedom Charter. In the Freedom Charter, we said, okay, it will be a secular state. Not only Tamil will be an official language, Tamil and Sinhala will be the official language. In the Freedom Charter, TGTE has clearly explicitly stated. In fact, I can say that we have gone a step further than Mr. Tanga Sharma. Because in the Vatikota resolution, they said that with respect to the language issue, it will be implemented on a reciprocal basis. That means if the Tamils are allowed to use Tamil in the south, then of course the Sinhalese will be allowed to use Sinhala in the north. But we have gone a step further and we have said we are not expecting on reciprocity. Sinhala will be an official language. Not only that, we have said we incorporate all the international covenants. Not only said, as Ted said, rights without remedy is no rights. So we said we will give access to go to the international forum. I see the option of protocol, we will allow them to go to the international forum. So we have thought about all these things and we have already taken measures, what we should do. Then also Ted mentioned about the Cyprus. I know Cyprus is not a good example, but he also mentioned Czechoslovakia, Czech and Slovakia. I can go to Sweden and Norway. I can go to Malaysia and Singapore. There are historical things. What we believe is that rather than we simply work on the preconceived definition of notion of reconciliation, we talk about friendly relation. Even LTT, I still remember when LTT was during that time when I was talking to Mr. Tilaga, he said we are going to have an economic relationship with South. We need friendly relationship with South. So what we need, given the ground reality, and two independent states have a friendly relationship, not necessarily like Cyprus, but like Czechs and Slovaks, we can have a friendly relationship in the single state, at the Tamil state. Then we talk about genocide. And as the Rwanda prosecutor said that it is a difficult task. We accept that. We say it is difficult to prove genocide. But the fact of the matter is, in the last 12 years, there are more than 10 convictions. There are more than 10 convictions of genocide. So the courts found the special intent necessary to prove. And one of the examples was given here saying that, okay, the government works with the Tamil aid workers, so how can we say that it's a genocide? It's interestingly, I think last month, there was a conviction of a Hutu guy in France. The domestic court, there was a conviction of a Hutu guy. And one of his defense was, my wife is a Tutsi. She's a Tutsi. But the court still treated him for genocide. So all what we are asking is, we are not asking for a genocide conviction now. We are asking for a genocide investigation. Just investigate and see where it is. That's all we are asking. We are not just simply imposing any conviction or sentence on genocide. And the other thing also is about, as Ali mentioned, that we have a lot of good relationship with a lot of NGOs, but this thing also the Tamils, the extremism. What do you mean by extremism? Asking for an independent state is extremism? And about late Chettai, he was called as a Gandhi. He still is called as the Gandhi. He is the guy who wants this idea, who just the first Tamil leader who talked about the independent state is Tanga Selva. And if Tanga Selva talks about separate state, he is not called as an extremist. When LTT talks about, when we talk about, then they are called as an extremist. I think one of the problems in diaspora, what I feel is, when these charges are leveled against them, then they try to distance themselves and say, no, we are not asking for a separate state, we are not extremists. I think we should handle them, we should encounter them on an intellectual basis. We should argue with them, what's wrong with asking for an independent state? What's wrong in South Sudan is asking, what is Scotland? This Scottish guys are asking. We should engage it on an intellectual basis rather than run away from them and say, no, you don't have, we are not extremists, that's the bad guys they talk about the place. And I think we should have the courage and intellectual capability to engage them on that level. And nobody is saying that we support humanitarian violation. No one is saying. In fact, as Professor Rudrakumaran mentioned is correct, we are not acting like the allied powers to have the jurisdiction on the single government. Not a single diaspora organization is asking that. We are asking for an international investigation with full jurisdiction. You have investigation and punish whoever violates the humanitarian laws and international covenants. That's what we are asking. So as Ali pointed out, actually on the immigration level, actually the Tamils have already been victimized. Because Tamil asylum seekers are being victimized. I don't know a case here, I don't want to mention a name. There's a case here, actually, there's a big litigation is going on, saying that because his connection with the TNA, and the Canadian government thinks that TNA was a proxy of LTT. And that's being elected, being part of TNA is now considered as an extremist and danger to the Canadian state security. This is nothing but hypocrisy. It's nothing but hypocrisy what's happening right now. And about even the regarding the arms struggle. Even the other day I attended the American International Lawyers Conference, and there was a session to pass a resolution to support the arms struggle of non-state actors. I was really shocked when I saw that one. What happened here? But then I realized, no, we want to support the Syrian rebels. We want to support the Syrian rebels, so now we say that it's legal to support the Syrian rebels. And the human rights violation of Syrian rebels is all over the press. New York Times, the front page put the big picture. What they did for the captured people, they blindfolded and shot them. But no one is now talking about, okay, when we talk about Syria, we should be neutral, or we cannot get involved. So it boils down to politics. It boils down to politics. And the reluctance why people don't want to use the G word, the New York Times wrote an editorial within the last 30 days. The reason if they use the word G word, then that entails some international obligations on their part. It triggers an international obligation on their part to intervene. And none of the countries don't want to do that. That's the fact. That's why they say don't use it. So that's why they say to some of the Tamil diaspora organizations, don't use the genocide word. It's difficult. The fact of the matter is that if they accept it, then they have an obligation on their part. So these are some of my observations. But I think we would like to have this kind of intellectual discussion, open discussion, share ideas, and we'll take it forward. But one of the things that I don't think I can get any answer for that, but also that's a fact of the matter, because there's no international forum or internal forum for remedial justice in that form of independent state. That's the reason that the arms struggle broke out. Still we are having the same problem. Unfortunately, the international system is not along that line. Thank you.